Hello, everybody. It's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. I'm so glad you guys could join me today because I have got the most impressive card ever. This is a really amazing card. It's kind of a four-fold pop-out card. It's one of those cards that looks like it's going to be uber complicated, but I have got tips and tricks to make it really easy. But you know what? When you give this card, this is your friends. How did you do that? Right? We love cards that just blow their mind, and we can let them believe it was really difficult. But just wait till I teach you how easy it is to make this four-fold pop-out card. Let's head over to my stamping table. I'll show you the card and we'll get to creating. I love a good fun fold, don't you? This one is so cool. We got lots of things popping up. Looks really complicated, right? I've got a spot here to write your message. Friends, I cannot wait to share with you how easy it is to create this card. We're actually going to do it with one piece of 6x6 designer series paper. Let me show you what we need. I'm going to shake things up. So I did this card in Flirty Flamingo, but I'm going to make this one in Berry Burst. So you use your favorite color. This is 5.5 by 10.25. And friends, I did some scoring here. 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 4.5 inches, and 6 inches. All right. So that's basically every 1.5 inches. And you can see that's how we're going to get our accordion. We're going to need some basic white. This is that card base that goes on the left side. This is cut 5.25 by 8 inches, and I've scored it at 4 inches. And then I have another piece. This is for my focal image, 2.5 by 3.25. We're also, to create that fabulous flower on the front, I'm going to bring in really some scraps here, but I have a piece of Daffodil Delight, a 3 by 3, some Granny Apple Green, 2.5 by 2.5, and this is scrap. So I just grabbed, this was truly a scrap I pulled out of my trash bin. So just a little bit of black. We're just going to die cut just a little tiny circle there. So again, just some scrap. The last thing we're going to need is we're going to need some designer series paper. I decided to go with the brights today, and I love these polka dots. We've got great stripes on the other side. Again, you're going to use your favorite color, but I thought it looked great. We're going to go Berry Burst on Berry Burst. Now, to cut your designer series paper, I have a bonus for you. I always give you a free download. It's one of my favorite things that I get to give you guys, just to say thank you for watching the video. So this free download is available for you at SimplySimpleStamping.com, or if you look down in the YouTube description, there's a direct link to it. And in this, you're going to have all the measurements, so you don't need to write anything down today. It's all there for you. Of course, you've got photos, the complete supply list. If you need to come back and watch the video, you can click here or click on the QR code. You'll be able to get it. Order any of the supplies right here. Friends, I would love to be your demonstrator, but let me show you what else comes with your free download. A cutting diagram. I love to make your cutting super easy, so I've got a diagram for how to cut that designer series paper. Let's do that now. We're going to start here, and you can see we need 3 pieces that are 1.25 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off 1.25 inch off this 6x6. All right, and that is going to leave me a 2.25, and we need to cut this one. So we're going to go ahead and start with this one since it's in my hand. So 2.25 needs to be cut down to 5.25. Again, all the measurements are right there. This is going to be a piece of scrap. I'm going to set that one. You know what? I can even set that one right there. Let's take another of our 1.25, and it needs to be 5.25. So boom, that one can go there. Next, we're going to take these pieces, and you can see we need to do some cutting. So I'm going to give you a tip, and that is, it's Tuesday tip video after all. Take both pieces of your 1.25 by 6 inch designer series paper and stack them together. And did you know that you can cut through with the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer? You can cut through 2 pieces at a time, and we're going to need 6 of these little 3/4 by 1.25 inch pieces. So I will get these cut for you. Now with what's remaining, it needs to be cut down to 3.25. So we've got this little bit of scrap there, but there are those pieces. And again, this is what I had left over, but that is scrap. So everything is cut. I love creating these diagrams to help make it super easy so you have no fears about messing up on your designer series paper. All right, let's do some stamping. I'm going to use the brand new stamp set from Stampin' Up! Called Kindest Expressions. I love this because it's great big. I love to create with really big stamps. And I'm going to bring in a Memento black ink pad. And oh, happy day. We will ink that up. And very simply, we're going to stamp this in the upper left corner of that basic white cardstock. I'm going to set that aside, and now I want to teach you how we're going to create that really sweet flower. This is so much fun. This is from a die set called Paper Florist. Now, if you don't have that one, well, one, I highly recommend it. It's got so many different flowers in it. But if you have a different flower punch or a different flower die, feel free to use it here. But I love the dimension this gives on the card. But we are going to talk about this incredible die set. Look at all those dies. Oh my goodness. And these are just amazing to create with. So I'm going to start with this die here, and you can see it's going to fit right inside my 3x3 Daffodil Delight. Now I'm going to take that 2.5 by 2.5, and I'm going to use these two leaves. Actually, you could use any ones you wanted, but I'm going to die cut those two there. And that little scrap of black, we are going to take this die, and let me show you. There's two, but they are different. So I wanted the one with the little dots in the middle. All right. And I'm going to just die cut that from my little bit of scrap. Let me get all that cut for you, and then I'll show you how to put together the flower. I'm going to begin with base plate 1, thin die adapter 2, cutting plate 3. And friends, look at this. We can fit all of this right on here. I'm going to top it with another number 3 cutting plate. We're going to run it through all at one time. All right, I have all my pieces cut, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put just a little dot of glue. You could use your Stampin' Seal as well, and I'm just going to glue the 2 large flowers together and the 2 smaller flowers together. I love that all 4 of them are coming off of one die, so I didn't have to sit there and putz with it. It's great. Now I'm going to let that dry for just a minute, and I'll tell you what, while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take that little tiny dot, and I'm going to use a mini Stampin' Dimensional on that, and we're going to add that to the center of our small flower. All right, just like that. Now, I am going to be adhering these together, but before I do, you can see I'm just going to give these a little bend, just to give them some nice pop. Now, I can add my center. So again, just another little dot of glue. We'll add that to the center. And I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to add my leaves at the end. All right, so I'm going to set all those aside, give that an opportunity to dry. All right. I'm going to spread this out. We're going to do the easiest cut ever. I promise you. Here we go. With the 5.5 inches up at the top, I want you to put that 10.25 inch over on the 1 inch panel, or 1 inch line, I should say. And we're going to cut in between panels. We're going to cut right across. So from one score line to the furthest score line. That's it. All right. Got it set at 1 inch. And I'm going to put my blade right there, right at this score line. I'm going to score all the way down to the other score line. That's it. Okay, easy peasy. I'm going to rotate this around and slide this up where you can see. We're going to do that again in between all those score lines. That is all the cutting that has to be done. We are going to do a little pop here. So you see how I have this folded right now. All right, so it's mountain, valley, mountain, valley. But we need this inside piece to go in the opposite direction. So I'm simply just going to pop it and make it go opposite. All right, can you see how I did that? Just make it go opposite. And what you want to kind of focus on is this little piece is going to be facing out. Okay, that is all you really need to kind of know. All right, now we want to come give all of those, just make sure everything's got a really good crease with your bone folder. And you can kind of start to see how our little pop out's going to happen there. All right, let's add our designer series paper. I'm going to bring in all of the pieces, but guys, that bigger one, let's set that off to the side. That's going to go on something else. It's going to be so easy for you to know where these pieces go. But we're going to start with the 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. Again, use your favorite adhesive, but you know, I was using my multi-purpose glue earlier, so we're going to go with it. I'm going to add one piece here to the outside panel. All right, we have these 3 panels. The first one, leave it blank. We're going to put these 2 panels right here. And of course, the last one will be these little pieces. We're going to add these at the top and again down here at the bottom. All right, there we go. Now, remember that focal image that we stamped? We're going to adhere that right on top of the designer series paper in this section right here. All right, there is our card. Now, this is the card where we're going to write our message. Remember, this is the 5 1/4 by 8. Let's add that here to the side, and it's going to center up right inside that panel. All right, we had one more piece of designer series paper, and it's going to go right here, but I want to make sure I'm getting that set right where I want it because I'm going to have a little bit of white and a little bit of white showing, okay? So I do wait until the end for this one. So I'm going to kind of get an eyeball of where it's going to go. Now I can add my multi-purpose glue, or you can use your Stampin' Seal. And as I said, you can kind of lay this back down to get an idea of where to center that up. Boy, that's a loud card, but I love it. I love big, bright cards. All right, let's add that incredible flower and our leaves. So you kind of want to get a feel for where that flower is going to go. So it's just going to go right down here. I'm just going to put myself a little bit of multi-purpose glue. Give that a good press, make sure my flower's sitting down nicely. Now I can come in and I can add these leaves, add them wherever you might want. And again, to do that, I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue right here. It will tuck right underneath. And I just think that bright granny apple green, that gorgeous yellow with that berry burst, is just fun. Again, I've got room here to write the message. How easy was that, right? Well, I've got another card to share with you. And this card is featuring the So Refreshing. You guys, if you follow me, you know I love anything with fruit. I love fruit, but I also love lemonade, and I love anything lemony. And so I created this card that says, "Time spent together is the sweetest." And I've got my little glass of lemonade there. Look what I did with this one. So this is lemon lime twist cardstock. Of course, you've seen how I put that part together. Everything is the same. I did change up my designer series paper to be Daffodil Delight, and that's what I used to stamp. And look, I decided to use some stripes and some polka dots. So feel free to get creative with your designer series paper. Of course, no designer series paper is wrong, right? Look at that. I added some of the little lemons to the inside of this card. So just a really fun little friendship card. Guys, a piece of 6x6 designer series paper and one creative cut that was awfully easy, right? And you have got the most funnest, I know it's not a word, it is for me today, the funnest fun fold ever. I truly appreciate you guys joining me today. If you like the video, would you give me a thumbs up on YouTube? I always appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed, why not click the subscribe button? And YouTube can let you know when I'm back with a new video. While you're at it, share with some crafty friends. We love to have as many crafters with us so we can all stamp and share together. Thank you again for being here. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.